COVID was like a universal trauma that we all shared. What a crazy time. Everybody's life changed. Things changed for people. I became a mom during the pandemic. I had a baby, which is wild. Thank you, most of you. You know what? I realize I get a different response depending on like lifestyle-wise and generationally, like who's in the crowd. Like if it's older people or people with kids, they'll be like, woohoo, you made a person. But like young single people, y'all be like, I see all your trauma come up to the surface. I'm like, I said I'm a mom, not your mom. I didn't do it. But I get it, because we're having different conversations now, right, about parenting. Right, we're getting into it, man. Parenting conversations are changing, and they should. We have some archaic views on parenting that I really think need changing. Like the belief that it makes or breaks you as a woman to have a baby. No, it doesn't. If you want to have a baby, have a baby. You don't want to have a baby, don't have a baby. It's nobody's business. It's ridiculous to think it's anybody's business but your own. But I will tell you this, anytime I've met a woman that doesn't want kids, that is the first thing she wants me to know about her. The second she finds out I'm a mom, she's like, I don't want kids. Cool, I wasn't offering. I was talking about my favorite subject, which is me, and then you interrupted me with some you, which I did not request for this. But I respect it. I respect it when a woman knows she doesn't want to have kids. I do. I think it's a good thing to know about yourself, and I think a lot of people would have been spared bad relationships with their mothers had they known they didn't know what they were doing or feel like they wanted to do it even in the first place. And I wish more people were that aware, right? Sometimes it's a bummer, I'm not gonna lie. Like I'll meet a person who's a really good human being and they don't wanna have kids, and I'm like, damn, I really wish you did, because I wish there were more people like you know what I mean? And then sometimes people are like, I don't wanna have kids, and I'm like, that's probably the best for everybody. I don't think you should have houseplants. Like, I don't know if you know how to love, bruh. We're having these different conversations that I feel like are so important because we're talking about things that definitely people that grew up in certain generations never heard of, right? Like we're talking about toxic parenting, right? We never heard that growing up. And let me tell you something, like I said, I'm Puerto Rican. I guarantee you nobody's cornered the market on toxic parenting like Latino parents. Woo! Man, oh, look at us trauma bonding. It hurts so bueno, doesn't it? I'm telling you, man, we put the tra in trauma. That was us. That was all us. It was just Alma, we spiced it up. That's why we have to talk about stuff like toxic parenting, because a lot of us didn't even realize we had toxic parents until we looked over our childhoods with today's guidelines. I thought I was safe. I was like, nah, I love my parents love me. What's that? Yeah, they hit me. Every day. But only when I was doing kid stuff. Let me see that list real quick. Let me look real quick. Saw all the information they know now about raising kids, and I was like, oh no! I need so much therapy. Like, that's wild. I hope there's a punch card. Trying to explain therapy to Latino parents. Look at that, look at that. Look at that. That hit you right in the trauma, right there. Like, whoop. Man, I was like, I cannot sana away depression. It's not how that works. If you don't know what sana is, allow me to explain. For those that don't know, Latinos have this thing that we say when like little kids get hurt. It's a little rhyme, make them feel better, you know what I mean? Sana, colita de rana, si no sanas hoy, sanarás mañana. You're all healed. One time my husband was like, can you translate that? And I was like, nah. Nah, man. Anything you translate from another language into English always loses something. Because the other languages are often so poetic, especially Spanish, such a poetic language. And if you translate it, it just loses all validity. Because translated, it's save, butt of a frog. If you don't heal today, you'll heal tomorrow. It's just passive-aggressive witchcraft. That's all it is. That's all it is. Save, butt of a frog. You have to say it in Spanish or your children will have nightmares. Like, you can't. It's such a crazy time to, like, be a parent because we're doing things so different, right? Like, now you can choose your parenting style like you used to choose a Mortal Kombat fighter. Our parents only had one style. It was survival. That was it. They just had to make it through. But we chose conscious parenting, me and my husband, conscious parenting, which is annoying. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's annoying, because it's not permissive. It's literally realizing every way in which you affect a tiny human life. And you have to be so aware of everything, and it's so hard because you want to fight them. You know you shouldn't. You know it's not their fault, but you find yourself getting frustrated at the craziest things. Because I would just be like, why can't you use a spoon? Give my son a spoon, he's like, no, you crackhead. It's just yogurt everywhere now. And the stakes just get higher and higher as you go along, what you have to teach them, what you have to be patient with, because now we're at potty training. Literally, there was one time my son made full-on eye contact with me as he pooped on my living room floor. And as a conscious parent, I was like, way to listen to your body, little man. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? He's a kid, he doesn't know any better. What, do I roll up a newspaper, bang him on the head with it, push his face in it? No, bad baby! I would call the cops on myself if I did that. I'm like, you gotta come get me, I finally broke. But here's the amazing thing about conscious parenting that they don't tell you. You learn as you do it. The more you consciously parent your kid, the more it heals all of your crap. Yeah, it really does. Because you end up parenting the way you wish you had been parented. I found this out in the moment with my son because we do affirmations every morning. I know, it's adorable. Don't get it twisted, it's Snoop Dogg affirmations. I want to thank me. No, it's a great affirmation. No, Snoop Dogg has a kid show. If you don't know, it's amazing. Yeah, right? Doggyland. If you don't know about it, watch it. He plays a character named Bow Wizzle. You're welcome. The songs all slap. You're welcome. So we were doing our Snoop Dogg affirmations, and my son has that cute little toddler voice, you know what I mean? Like that, like I was like, say, I am strong. And he's like, I am strong. Like, say, I am brave. He's like, I am brave. And then I felt it, like all the stuff I didn't get. You know what I mean? In that moment, I felt that. And like, before I knew it, I was like, say, I am loved. I gotta call your grandma. I didn't even see that coming, man. And it's so crazy now being a boy mom because the microscope is on us, man. We are underneath such a microscope, everything we do. And I'm fine with it because I think if we change the game, we could really change how things work out in the world. I really do. I don't mind it, you know what I mean? And my girlfriends were on it right away. The second they found out that I was having a little boy, they were like, it's all up to you. You gotta fight the patriarchy. And I was like, Can I teach him the alphabet first? I can. I just gotta be real intentional with it, you know what I mean? Like, A is for accountability, B is for bodily autonomy, and C is for consent. Repeat it to mommy. You have to be aware of these things, you know what I mean? And I think the thing that's hard now is that there's so many opinions on parenting now, and you don't know where to go, you know what I mean? And as a parent, it can be hard to take the opinion of somebody who doesn't have kids, for instance. I found myself getting frustrated at people that would give parenting advice that don't have kids. And I felt the way that a lot of parents do. Like, if you're not living this life, how do you know what to tell me to do? Until I realized the reason why I should listen to these people is that they may not have kids, but they are coming from a perspective of a person who experienced a certain type of parenting. And I really had to think, what would my son say about my parenting? And what would I want him to say about my parenting? Not all of it. Some people are dumb. Don't listen to everyone. Because I did have a girlfriend that was like, you better raise him right. And I'm like, what did you think the plan was? What did you think? I think I got pregnant and I was like, I will raise him evil. Go forth and destroy my child. Of course I want to raise a good human being, but I also don't like being told what to do. So the second she said that, there was a part of me that wanted to be like, nope. I was gonna, but then you had said what you said. Now I gotta make sure he has a misogynistic podcast by the age of 7. Just sitting there with some big old headphones like, as a alpha male. And I'm behind him with my problematic boy mom self like, that's right, baby, these hoes ain't loyal. It's just me and you forever. I could never be that mom. I could never be that mom. There was a lot of things that I saw people doing that I knew I wasn't gonna do as a mom. Like, the one thing I don't do is boys will be boys. I don't do that with my son. It's too permissive. There's no equivalent for little girls. So I don't allow it. And you know, the parents that I've seen do it, it gets out of hand real quick. You just know it's gonna snowball to bigger things, like boys will be boys. He stabbed the babysitter. He's a boy. He's learning to express himself. And I know you're not supposed to judge other parents, but I do. I do. Only when I see them doing things that are detrimental to their children or to parenting in general. I can't help but pick up on that now. Like, there was a woman who put out a video and it went viral. And this was the whole video. She goes, I'm gonna teach my son how to cook so your daughter can't trick him into a relationship with her cooking. First of all, don't nobody want your dusty son. First of all, don't act like a basic skill is something to brag about. And second, how long you been out the dating pool, ma'am? What do you think is gonna happen? Do you think I'm just gonna leave a trail of empanadas that lead to an altar? You're gonna be like, oh no, I'm married. What kind of idiot did you raise? There were so many things, and when, me and my husband, when we talked about how we were gonna do this, that we decided we were just not gonna do, right? And there were certain things we promised ourselves that we would do. Because there was a lot to consider. Not only do we wanna raise a good human being, but also, my son is multicultural. Like I said, he's mixed. He's half Puerto Rican, half white, hard tea. That Midwest white hits different, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know there's white people here, but if my husband walked in, even y'all would be like, that's a white guy. Like, you'd be like, I'm white, but that's unseasoned chicken that just walked through the front door. That is level 10 white. Don't y'all come for my porcelain king. a couple guys in the audience that are like, porcelain king. I'm gonna use that later. But I had to think about that, man. Like, my son is mixed. Or as I like to say, his DNA's been colonized. That is my favorite way of saying it. Because people are always like, wait a minute. She snuck in history. I have to think about that, though. Honestly, as the mother of a mixed child, I have to think about the fact that a lot of his childhood is going to be me explaining my half of his makeup and the history of those people. And I know he's gonna have questions, because all kids have questions, and I'm petrified. Because I don't know if you've heard the level of questions these children are asking, but these are Jeopardy level questions. And I am, quite honestly, not prepared. I'm just waiting for the day where he's like, what happened to the indigenous people of the Caribbean, Mommy? And then I just look at his dad. This is your time to shine, sir! My poor son is walking around like, I come from the oppressor and the oppressed. I'm the problem and the solution. Oh. I'm like, that's right, baby. Also, don't take no blankets from daddy's side of the family. If you got that last part, I love you from the bottom of my heart. Because the amount of times I'd looked out at an audience of people that's like, what's wrong with their blankets? What's wrong? What's the thread count on the blankets? I'm proud of my son. He's doing great. He speaks English and Spanish. And, yeah. Humble brag. And really, look, if you're in the audience and you're Latino, Latina, Latine, Latinx, any of them, and you don't speak Spanish, that is okay. It doesn't make you lesser. It doesn't mean that people should make you feel lesser. I spent a lot of my younger years so judged because I didn't speak Spanish well enough for the people around me that I just stopped altogether and didn't learn till I was older. And here's the thing, I'm also third generation. And if you're third generation, then you know what I'm talking about. By the time I came around, everybody had assimilated already. So English was the norm in our household. When my parents were growing up, it was different. They spoke Spanish only inside the house. But that's because at that time, there was something called a gag law, where Puerto Ricans could not display a Puerto Rican flag or speak or sing any patriotic songs. So it was dangerous to speak Spanish outside of the house. So for me, I didn't speak it in the house. I only spoke English, so I learned it from all of my coworkers when I started working. And all of my coworkers were Mexican. So my Spanish is very confusing. Because I'm a Puerto Rican who speaks Spanish with a Mexican accent, but uses Puerto Rican and Mexican terminology. My Spanish sounds like what a ransom note looks like. Like, people who are fluent in Spanish hear me speak Spanish and they're like, where are you from? I don't know, man, I'm trying to figure it out. My son does, he speaks Spanish, but he's nervous in Spanish, so he like whispers in Spanish. I know, it's adorable and creepy, huh? Kids do not know the rules of whispering. So they just like do it whenever. I'll be like washing the dishes and behind me I hear, siete. Mommy's gonna burn some sage now. Try to get the demon of Columbus out of you.